Look at this very cute teddy bear. It's so sweet and chubby. You can make it yourself. In this video tutorial I'm showing you how to assemble it. So once you have all the parts crochet and done, so I'm showing you all the secrets and all steps how I connect the parts, so you have the final result like this. If you're wondering about the yarn I'm using, it's Alize Cotton Gold, and this is number 152. So, and I'm using this kind of creamy color. The hook I used for this cute teddy project is 3 mm. In fact, you can use any yarn at all, so it can be fluffy yarn, it can be acrylic or cotton. And if you're looking the patterns for chunky bears, I also have a separate pattern in my Etsy store. This teddy comes in 3 sizes. This one is small, it comes in medium and large. So any of the pattern you can get with 20% discount with the promo code BEAR20. And if you want to get 3 patterns at once, well, I have also a deal for you with the promo code of BEAR15, and you'll get 3 of them. This teddy has a number of benefits. It's ideal for any age, starting from the newborn babies, because it doesn't have any choking hazard. Even the eyes and nose, they're all crochet, and you can make it with the cotton or half cotton, so it will be also super safe with the materials you use. Well, this teddy is so classic. It also can be a good gift for any age, child, teenager, or even adult, and you can make it personalized, and I'll show you how. You can embroider the initial to the front of the body or back, or you can crochet a patch and then add the letter here, and it's so nice to match the colors. You can also add a scarf or handkerchief or a collar. There are so many ideas. You can add a bow, tie bow, or it can be a girl like this. All is up to your imagination. Look at this cutest face. So let's assemble it together, and I will show you how to make it the way you see right now. As you can see, I have finished the head, 2 ears, inner circles for the ears, which are optional, and the muzzle. If you decide to decorate the ear with the inner circle, I'll show you how I do it. As you can see, my ear here is still not complete. The row is still not finished. So I have done it halfway through, and I left long thread enough because I still need to close the row, and I need the end long enough for sewing the ear to the head. And I do it both ways. So the first way and the other way. In that way, you know, like the ear looks more carefully adjusted to the head, so that's why you need long end. Well, here it's also important to understand where is your front and where is your back. Well, this is the front and this is the back, so the ears, they will be like looking a bit down. So I take my needle and I'm going to sew it in this manner. You can choose to sew one more round the stitches which are not, you know, closely sewn. So I usually do that because it looks like, you know, more carefully made, more neatly attached to the other detail of your crochet work. So I made 2 rounds. All the time I work, I lock with the knot. Just for the security and the peaceful mind. It's so easy to do that once you have this half ear open. We're ready to finish this row. So that's why once you're sewing, be reminded that you're not going to sew it lower, right? So we still have this space for locking our row with single crochet stitches. That's it, our first ear is fully completed now, and we'll repeat the same with the second one. After our ears are ready, well, we take the head and I'm going to stuff it, not fully stuff, but just to give it the shape. So what am I using for stuffing my crochet projects? I mostly go for hollow fiber. You see the balls like these, and this is a toy filler. Well, I don't really know how it's called because usually on the bags it's written toy filler. However, they're both toy fillers. In terms of the cost, usually hollow fiber is more expensive than this toy filler, so you can mix them. This is what I'm going to do. At this stage, I don't fully stuff the head. Well, like this it holds the shape, but still there is space for more hollow fiber. I need this space for sewing the muzzle, so it will be easier for me, you know, to manipulate with the needle. And well, my muzzle will be opposite this end. So this is the back, and this is my front. I always find it cuter when the muzzle is low, close to the neck. So I place it this way. You can definitely use the pins to mark where your muzzle will be, but because I have, like, you know, so many pinches, so I pinch myself so many times, so now I just prefer confidently holding it with my thumb. So I will be sewing it by holding it with my thumb and just using it in the place where I put it. Don't worry if it's not exactly opposite, it's not a big deal. So then later on, once we reach our neck, we will adjust it. Also be advised that I'm leaving a very long end because I'm going to sew it in 2 rounds. So I stopped somewhere here because I need space to fill in it with the hollow fiber. So here I will not be mixing, I'll just put a pure hollow fiber in the muzzle. I have stuffed it well enough, and now you have 2 choices. Either you're going to sew the nose to the muzzle right now when this gap is still open, or you just close the circle and sew it one more round, so to make it all perfectly, you know, adjusted. So yeah, sometimes I do like this, sometimes I do like that, and this time I'll just prefer to sew it first till the end, one more round, and then we are going to sew the nose. I didn't cut the yarn because I need quite a long end, as I'm going to use the same for nose, mouth and the eyes, maybe eyebrows as well. It's really tricky to make it symmetrical, but we will try. And now the task is to fill in this triangle we have with stitches. For instance, I feel like, you know, to make it symmetrical, I need to add stitch here, so I will do it, and then I will go for making an eye directly. I usually place an eye maybe one stitch upper to the nose, and it's 2 stitches long, so I'm just going to, you know, do several stitches. It can be 2 stitches or 3 stitches long. Okay, so I repeat several times. I'm not sure, like 4 or 5, or as much as you have your thread. 3. So you see it lies very close to the nose, to the muzzle. So I had 5 stitches. I'm going to make a knot again. If you feel your thread is too short to make a knot with a needle, so you can use your crochet hook, but somewhere in the part which is covered by the nose, okay? As you have guessed, we're going to use the second part of the thread, so now approximately we can speculate how long it should be. So it's enough for our eyes, and if we want, we also can add eyebrows. I will. It's always safer to cut it longer, just in case. I will add one more stitch here, and we'll go for the eyes. Don't worry, it will never be ideal because we're like crocheting in spirals, so it's very difficult to make it like 100% symmetrical, but more or less it's like this. It's cute. So if you feel like your thread is too long, you can add stitches to the eyes, or just you know, make a knot and close it. The final look of your teddy bear will heavily depend where you're going to place your ears. So this is my center, and I counted 1 2 3 4. This is the 5th row in the circle, and it's, you see, the middle is here, but I'm sewing it closer to the face. And well, it's a good idea maybe to use a needle to more or less fix the ear where it's going to end. I'm using just some blunt needles. They come in sets with knitting needles. So yeah, and I'm going to sew again here. It's our front and back. So yeah, if you didn't sew these circles, you know, they can be just one homogeneous color ears, and you can choose actually whether you want them to lie like this or you want them to be more standing. So in that case, you will need to sew the circles from the other side, and this will be inside. But if you prefer your ears to be like lying like I'm doing, so then this is the like path for you to sew it. Okay, like this. In order to sew the legs to the body, I don't finish body till the end. So I crochet it somewhere halfway through, and once it starts like decreasing the rows, so then I just stop because I want it to be comfortable for me, for my hand to dive in and do the sewing and the notes once I close the work. So yeah, here, well, I have, this is my back. Okay, so I'm trying to see what is the middle, like the opposite one, and well, I make it a little bit closer to the front. Okay, so we have 1 2, so 2 rows, and on the third one, or it can be fourth, third, fourth, more or less. So I just mark with the needles. So it's 10 rows if we count this one as well. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Well, I start from the middle. Usually, as you noticed with the ears, once I like reach the end of the row, well, it's a good idea also to make a knot. So I make a note for a reason, so there will be no hole, you know, pulling, because if I don't close, usually there is like a bigger hole in distance. My work is still not done. I'm going now to go all the way back into the stitches which were not sewn. So that's why I always leave long end enough, so it's enough for you to sew one way and the way back. Now it also explains why I leave it halfway crochet, because yeah, I need this space here, I need the access to this part. So once you're sewing the other way back, okay, control your environment. You need to see also where is your needle. Okay, so here it's not visible. I will show you what I mean. Well, maybe I can go, you know, with my needle like one row further, so then it will be like such a mess and pulling the thread. So you need to make sure that it's exactly on this level. Okay, so then you'll not discover that you actually did more harm than good. And there is one more thing that you need to be careful of. So do not sew by mistake this thread which we're still using for our body. It happened to me before, so now I'm very careful. So yeah, you need to pay attention to things. So yeah, you'll not make mistakes which will then it's very hard to fix, because you will need to undo part of your sewing. Well, I reached my very last stitch. As you can guess, I'm going to make a knot again. So with this technique of making knots and sewing from both sides, like both directions, I mean, so I'm securing the toy. If it's for like a newborn baby and you'll be like washing it very often, so it's guaranteed that nothing will fall apart, you know, and it will not become loose. And even with the kid who loves pulling things, so I know that it's secure, and not less importantly, it will never be loose. So by following this technique, you will see how neat your work will be looking and how reliable it is from washing or tearing. So it will be so secure and you will feel confident in your work. Well, now it's time for our second leg, and well, it will start now from this side. So we'll look where to stitch it. Okay, and we will do the same way till the end, make knot and knot. And also I like when the legs are like closely aligned, so that's why I'm going to also connect these two stitches. I will sew them together. I'll show you what I mean by connecting two. So I reach the end, okay, and still, well, we have here like one stitch, and I will just link them both. So I'm just like connecting the first and second leg a few times. So then when it will be sitting, the legs will not be, you know, like sitting like this, but they will be sitting like this. And now again I will go all the way back. Okay, so this is what is called high quality. Well, for me at least, it means that you put a lot of efforts not only in crocheting but also in connecting parts together. This is what we have so far. As you can see, it sits, and the legs, they don't sit like this, but they just sit straight. Okay, and this is how it looks from both sides. What is left, I'm just going to crochet the missing rows following the pattern, and you do the same. I have completed the missing part and stuffed the body. So here from behind we have our last stitch. Now we can put the head and see whether we need to add some stitches, but well, I don't need. Everything is like a puzzle. Well, I also have my arms ready. Sometimes actually I sew them before the head, but sometimes like it varies. I feel like I want to sew the head first, and then it will be less chances to risk the hands to be somewhere, you know, in the wrong places. I'll just remove now the stitch marker. You need to stuff your teddy well, and don't worry if still here there is some space, because we're going to add more filler before closing the neck completely. For somehow securing the head position, you can use the long needle or several needles. So we'll be just repeating stitch up and down. But don't crochet till the end. We'll need to leave some space that we will stuff this area more. I reached this stage, still there is space, so this is your last chance to add the filler, and I added more into the head and more into the belly, and now I put in this space. Yeah, you need to understand that over time it will shrink a little bit, so make everything right to the degree you like, and a little bit even like stuff a little bit more. Well, we want our teddy to be chubby. Don't forget the area also where the cheeks are. You can always shape it. Don't be scared to press it in the shape you want it to be. Okay, now our job is to complete stitching. Once I have finished, I will still make a knot. As I told you, I never leave any thread without a knot, and I will hide the remaining end inside the teddy, so I never like cut it and throw it, because still it's a part of stuffing. Remaining thread, once it jumps out from the needle, you can definitely also put inside with a hook, but I always recommend you taking smaller hook, otherwise you will make holes inside, you know, like they will be visible, and then you need to adjust them. So that's why better always use a smaller hook, and maybe in some places, like, you know, not exactly in the middle, from the side. Hands I usually place like 2 levels down, so it still looks cute and chubby enough, and there is space if you want to put a scarf, so I find it as optimum. And one more thing, I put the hand a little bit closer to the belly, okay, so it's not exactly in the middle. Once I reach the end, I then go back to the beginning, and either you make one more round or you can just make a knot here, and even better to make 2, so there is no hole and everything is super secure. The very last part of our teddy bear is our tail, and it's optional if you don't make it, so then your teddy can lie flat, but if you add it, so then it will be, you know, like a little bit moving sides. if you decide to make it, so add it as the very last element of your teddy, because it's really hard to place it symmetrically in the middle. So once it's all complete, only then you can judge. What can help you the most is this middle part, so it will guide you where to place the tail. Don't forget to slightly stuff the tail. For the most careful results and neat results, make 2 rounds of stitches. In my Etsy store, in this listing, you can find so many samples of the teddies I made for inspiration of different color combinations, different accessories, different sizes. Let's be inspired together. So if you like this video of assembling a teddy, don't forget to put like, subscribe. I'm waiting for any comments you wish to leave, and have a nice day everyone. Bye bye.